Chapter 13. I'm sorry for being late. Emmanuel apologized. Melanie furrowed her brows and stared at Emmanuel for a while before roaring, "What's wrong with you, Emmanuel? I'm not here on a blind date. Why do you keep showing up everywhere? Leave. I'm here for an important matter today." With that, she wanted to beat Emmanuel out of there. "What I'm here to talk about today will enormously affect my future. I can't mess it up." Suddenly, Emmanuel smiled and said, "It's such a coincidence. I'm also not here for a blind date. I'm here as a representative of the Terrence Group." Melanie couldn't be bothered by that, though. "If this man gets away, so will my chance to rise through the ranks. My mission today is to lessen the penalty the company needs to pay. Behave yourself, Ms. Zimmerman." Emmanuel stared into her eyes and reminded her expressionlessly, "We aren't dating. What we have is simply a working relationship." TCH. He's so pretentious. Melanie was fuming, but she didn't dare to show it. "I know Emmanuel is a lustful man. Otherwise, why would he go to the hospital to examine women's bodies? I don't know how a gynecologist became a representative of Terrence Group, but I'm pretty sure he's just a runner working for Terrence Group. He's using Terrence Group to boss me around. Ugh. How despicable." Melanie gritted her teeth discreetly before flashing a smile. "I'm sorry, Mr. Lowe. I was too worked up just now. Let's have a discussion." Emmanuel couldn't say no to that, so he sat back down. "After all, I'm here to make sure Cloud Construction delivers the project on time." Nonetheless, his ultimate goal was to bring Mackenzie home to meet his parents. "Mr. Lowe, what's your position in Terrence Group?" Melanie asked the moment Emmanuel sat down. At the same time, there was a dubious look in her eyes. "I don't have a position for the time being. The executives of Terrence Group have appointed me to urge your company to deliver the project on time," Emmanuel answered truthfully. At that time, Mackenzie was his superior, and he had never even been to Terrence Group. Melanie rolled her eyes at him discreetly upon hearing that. So is he merely a third-party Terrence Group had employed? Is this his part-time job? Regardless of how she looked down upon Emmanuel, he still represented her client. Therefore, she couldn't afford to offend him. "Ms. Zimmerman, on behalf of Terrence Group, I need to formally inform you that the project must be delivered before the end of the month. Otherwise, it will be considered a breach of contract." Emmanuel was concise and frank. Melanie looked troubled. If Cloud Construction could deliver the project by the end of the month, they wouldn't have appointed me as the project manager. "What's the matter?" Emmanuel frowned slightly. Although he was intimidating Melanie, he knew for a fact that Mackenzie's goal was to have the project delivered on time instead of getting paid the penalty. Hence, Emmanuel wanted to know why Cloud Construction couldn't finish the project on time. Melanie's ego wouldn't allow her to humble herself, so she uttered in an authoritative tone, "Mr. Lowe, perhaps you could tell the person in charge of Terrence Group to extend the deadline by 3 months. Emmanuel was amused. "Does this woman still think I'm here for a blind date? Is that the attitude to have when you're asking for a favor?" he asked. Melanie bit her lower lip. "I hope you'll be infertile and never have kids, Emmanuel." Despite her anger, she had no choice but to squeeze out a smile. She even tried to seduce him by holding his hand and saying, "I beg of you, Mr. Lowe. I am willing to go out with you on a date if you can get Terrence Group to extend the deadline by 3 months. Let go of me," Emmanuel demanded coldly. Melanie was seeing red. How shameless can this bastard be? Before this, he came to look for me with his family because he wanted to marry me. Why is he playing hard to get now? Damn it. Although Melanie was furious, she let go of his hand at once. Why can't Cloud Construction deliver the project on time? What's the reason? Emmanuel asked directly. I need to know the problem, so I'll know how to fix it. Humph. That's because there's a dispute over the land itself. A group of thugs protects that land, and they've been doing whatever is possible to delay our work, and that's why there's a delay in the project. Melanie uttered grumpily and tried to push the blame on others. Is that all? Emmanuel was surprised. Cloud Construction is a big corporation, no? Why couldn't you guys deal with a bunch of thugs? Why didn't you guys call the police? If it's that easy, don't you think Cloud Construction would have settled the issue by now? Melanie scoffed. As a matter of fact, she knew the leader of the thugs was a ruthless man in Yeringham. That man had already threatened to kill the project manager's family members if the company were to involve the police. That was why the previous project manager was too scared to do anything rash. After all, no one would risk the safety of their family members for money. At that moment, Melanie was merely taking a step at a time and dragging things out. It would be nice to get paid a few more months of a manager's salary. Although she could afford to drag it out, Emmanuel couldn't. Bring me to the project site tomorrow, he ordered. Melanie's disdain grew stronger. So far, Cloud Construction had already sent out 3 groups of legal specialists to negotiate with the thugs, but their efforts were to no avail. Could a gynecologist possibly solve the issue? No. However, this loser is representing the client. If I don't play nice, he can proceed with the legal claims against us. If that happens, there goes my reward payment. Obviously, she didn't have the nerve to voice her opinion. I'm sorry, but I have plans tomorrow. I can't bring you there. Instead, I'll get the company's legal officer, Sheldon Zofer, to accompany you. Melanie didn't want to go to the project site with Emmanuel. He can go and mess with the thugs all he wants, but I'm not getting myself involved in this. Emmanuel couldn't be bothered by what she had in mind. All he wanted was to get to the bottom of the situation and fulfill Mackenzie's goal. The following day, Emmanuel took half a day off and arrived at Cloud Construction early in the morning. Melanie soon appeared with a man with glasses. Are you Emmanuel? The man with glasses was decisive and frank. I'm Sheldon Zofer, a legal officer working for Cloud Construction. Let me be clear about something. I'm only bringing you to the project site, and I won't help you get those people off the land. The leader of the thugs is Samuel Weber. He's a big shot in the underground circle. That's not someone we can afford to mess with. Emmanuel couldn't help but furrow his brows when he realized Sheldon was backing out even before they got to the project site. Melanie initially wanted to avoid getting involved, but she couldn't stop herself from running her mouth. Are you seriously going to chase those thugs away just because you were told to do so, Emmanuel? Do you have a death wish? Must you risk your life for such a paltry sum of money? Upon hearing Melanie's sarcastic remark, Emmanuel mocked, I would rather risk my life for money than to be a freeloading coward like you. You. Melanie was infuriated, but she had nothing to defend herself with. No wonder Cloud Construction can't deliver the project on time. That's because the company had employed a useless employee as the project manager. Just wait, if you fail to deliver the project, I'll make sure you lose your job. Emmanuel didn't hold back on his criticisms. With that, he left with Sheldon. Melanie stomped her feet in fury and cursed, You're a bastard, Emmanuel. Mr. Weber has a lot of capable subordinates. I hope they kill you. I'll dance on your grave after you die. Ugh.